When did all the space between us become what we're about? We used to say that we were lovers. I can't figure out, no, how'd we go from mere in love to we don't know that we're gone, stuck in the middle of who we were and who we are. Gone, so gone. It's like nobody's there. We just vanished into thin air. Thin air. We used to say we were forever, but I didn't know forever had an end. And looking back in the darkness, I saw all the signs, but not the message they sent. No, and I long for the healing, but you can't heal what's no longer there. We're gone, just stuck in the middle of who we were and who we are. Gone, so gone. It's like nobody's there. We just vanished into thin air. I've never given up on anything I ever really wanted. I don't wanna start now, no, no. Stuck in the middle of who we were and who we are. Gone, so gone. It's like nobody's there. We just vanished into thin air. Just stuck in the middle of who we were and who we are. Gone, so gone. It's like nobody's there. We just vanished into thin air. Thin air.
Hey guys, we're here from Encore Chat, and I'm here with John Taglieri, and he's a multi-talented player, and guys got to check him out. Okay, and John, I want to ask you, give me the rundown from how long you've started, what age, and your whole up to now, as far as what you're doing and everything.
Okay, well, I was 5 years old when I started playing guitar. My parents decided I needed a hobby.
Okay.
Sent me off to guitar lessons.
Okay.
So, yeah, my whole life I've been playing guitar. I play about 9 instruments.
Wow.
It was just along the way, just like, you know, at 7 I got tired of guitar and I started playing drums. And then I learned to play bass, and then I went back to guitar. And then, of course, you did all the school instruments like trumpet, and
Band
sax,
instruments,
and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I play a little bit of piano and any percussion, you know, anything like that. You know, first performance was probably 15 or 16 years old in a school band, like a rock
band. Okay.
High school, and you know, here I am a bunch of years later. I've got 12 CDs out and been around the world a few times, and I get to wake up every day and strum a guitar, so I can't complain.
You gotta love it. Now, did you study on all those different instruments, or do you you?
Mostly self-taught.
Okay.
I really haven't taken lessons on anything.
Okay.
Thankfully it's a knack where if you hand me an instrument and give me a week, I can play it well.
Get it? Wow.
You know?
Wow. So
I am not a virtuoso of anything. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
Okay.
And I fully embrace the fact that I'm not going to be the guy that people go, wow, over.
Right.
But I can walk into any gig and get on stage.
Okay.
You know, if you need a bass player, I can do it. If you need a drummer, I can do it. If you need a piano player, I can do it. You need a guitarist, a singer, I can cover. I'm the utility guy.
Okay, so
but I'm not a virtuoso.
But see, you had to have some kind of a schooling or background to be able to approach the instruments that way. I mean, whether you taught yourself to lay it out like that. I mean, right? I mean, you know enough where someone says, "Okay, let's play in the key of G," so you do 1-4-5, or you do this. Or whatever.
I'd probably say school, like grammar school through high school. Guitar lessons when you're 5-6 years old aren't a lot of theory. There are a lot of, here's a C chord, let's get your fingers working.
Yeah, work on that.
But when you start playing in the school bands in high school and grammar school and stuff, you start learning more of structure, and because you're sight reading, because you're sight reading everything at that point.
Yeah.
So through all that time is where I learned theory, and then I went to college for music for 3 semesters because I just hated the program that they were teaching.
Okay.
And then I left and got an audio engineering degree.
Okay.
But yeah, probably from 8 or 10 years old all the way through, the beginning of college was all sight reading and theory and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
But most of the instruments that I learned that I use today were all pretty much self-taught.
Okay.
I have a really quick ear, even to this day. Like if you play me a song twice, I can play it back for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you really probably say you got perfect pitch or relative pitch?
Pretty close. Like it's not
it's
like
gotta be.
It's close. I have days where I'm on and days where I'm like a little bit of a guess, but I mean, my wife will tell you, I've been driving at gigs and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to learn the song, and I'll put it in and learn it and get on stage and play it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a gift, man.
Wouldn't say I have perfect pitch, but I have very.
But you know where it's going.
Quick retention.
Yeah, you know exactly where it's going.
You're playing rock music. You're playing pop music. But you find the first chord. If you know the song structure, you can kind of find your way.
Figure it out there. Yeah. Now, would you say, John, like if you were to do it, or would you have? What's your recommendation? I should say to kids now. And now, from a music point of view, where we're into an age now where it's technology, and
very much.
It can be good, it can be bad. It's I personally feel it's a quick results. You know what I mean? And when I say that, I'll just say Guitar Hero. If you never played before, you hit green, orange, red. It's not something that you've worked at. What would you say if you were to go out and speak to kids now, like just to talk to if they, how important do you think it is that they should learn structure and they should learn how to do lessons and
Incredibly
to do
important.
a lesson and do and why? Tell me why.
For young kids, if I was speaking to young kids, I would have a different conversation if I was speaking to, say, 20-year-old kids.
Right. Okay.
So if I was speaking to young kids, absolutely go to lessons, learn theory, learn what music is about, learn how to be a great player. You can sit in a room all day and have great chops. It doesn't make you a great player.
Okay. Very good point.
I would absolutely tell younger kids to get schooled. Go to lessons if they're private or in school, but go take lessons, learn to understand how to read music, even if you never use it later in life. The theory of learning how to read music stays with you even when you're learning by ear.
Okay.
Because your ear picks up and then your brain remembers all of the structures from reading music and the theory of music, and your brain will tell your ear where to go. And, I think it's going to go here next. So yeah, I would absolutely tell young kids to make sure they got themselves schooled in music.
Okay.
Older kids, I would tell the same thing, but then when you're at that point, you're looking to make a business of it, and that's where I think most fail. I know a lot of great musicians who don't know how to do good business, and that's why you've never heard of them. Okay. I say this about myself in a simple way. I'm never going to be the greatest musician, but I know how to run a business. That's why I have a career. That's why I get to wake up every day and make a fairly decent living strumming a guitar. Not because I'm a great player, but because I'm good at business.
Right. Okay.
I'm a good enough player. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I was going to say no. Yeah.
But
if you're not good, they're not going to hire you.
But I know a lot of people who are unbelievable musicians who don't know how to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do PR, and they don't want to do bookings, and they don't want to do all of the things that, unless you have a lot of money to hire people, you better learn how to do.
Yeah.
So My biggest thing that I always tell, because I've mentored and I've spoken at conferences, is be the greatest musician you can possibly be, and then sort of put that to the side and learn the business of making a career of making music.
Yeah. Now you also said, John, you know, audio engineering and going to that. So that had to help with writing music and stuff and doing all your original stuff.
Yeah.
And it's got to be, that's great while you're doing a multi instruments.
Yeah.
Because you could lay down a lot of tracks yourself.
I can sit in
right?
the studio by
do that
myself
when
and
you
make
do
a
it?
whole record. Yeah, I've
You
done
do?
that. I've
Okay.
done a few of my 12 have just been me all by myself.
Okay.
And then I found that while I was capable of cutting the parts, it was really nice to have other flavors. Because you and I can play the same part and it's not always going to sound the same.
Right.
So it was really nice to have other flavors come in. So I started having friends or hiring out some, you know, like my current CD that just came out, I have, you know, Lee Turner from Darius Rucker's band playing keyboards on it. Okay. We have Kenny Aronoff and Rich Redmond on drums. You know, Kenny Aronoff.
Of course.
Rich Redmond is Jason Aldean, Ludacris, Kelly Clarkson. I mean, he's played with everybody.
Everybody, okay.
You know, we have Eric Ragno on keyboards, who's played with Alice Cooper and Kiss, and you know, so it's just like while I'm capable of doing it, they're going to bring more to
it's
it.
different
than
flavors.
I can.
Yeah. The originality.
And it's worth it every time, because the final product you get back is just like you melt.
Yeah.
You know, they send me tracks back and I open them up and I'm just like,
wow. So it's
it's so awesome. You know?
See, now that there is where the internet and everything is great for. You're using it.
Yeah.
In the right form, in a sense, you know, by you know, in the computer, by doing stuff with different players. They don't have to be in the same room with you now.
No, and case in point, you had Alan Bowers on your show.
Yep.
Alan played on my record. Alan and I have never met physically. We've known each other for years, but we've just never been in the same room at the same time. It's like, hey, I'm going here. Hey, I'm going there. I'm like, you know.
So,
But he played on my record. Like, and that's the great thing about technology today, is you can do things like that. You know, Kenny Aronoff has been my idol since I've been 12 years old.
Yeah, Kenny.
I sent him a note. Would you play on my record? Absolutely. Send me a track.
Wow.
You know, the first time my phone rang and it was Kenny, because we talked to get ready for the sessions. You know, when the phone rang, I had a 12-year-old girl moment. I was like,
Calm down.
Hey,
Treat it like it is. Exactly.
But again, you know, I didn't meet him till after the sessions. You know, he was happened to be playing up near where I live. So I called him up. I'm like, dude, I'm going to come to the show. And we got to meet and hang out. And
oh, wow.
Wonderful, wonderful guy. Same thing with Rich Redmond. I've known Rich for a few years. Sent him a note. Hey, Rich, I'm doing a new EP. You want to play on? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Wow. You know, and again, we've never physically met, but we've just known each other for a while.
See, it's amazing. The whole. No more cutting things live in a room with all 5 guys together anymore.
Yeah, it's well, unless you're in a band. If you're in a band, it's easy. But when you're a solo guy, it's so nice to be able to go, hey, I've got these
got long distance. That's
players.
what I'm saying. You got long distance relationships with state of the art people.
We cut this record in 9 different studios. I was only in one of them.
Wow.
And everybody, like, I would cut acoustic, click, and vocal, send it out. Everybody would cut parts, send them back through Dropbox. All we did was Dropbox back and forth, and then I would assemble everything in my studio.
Wow.
And it was fantastic.
Now, let me ask something, because and I know I'm straying off a little bit with this, because I'm interested. I'm very curious with this.
Yeah.
When you have 12, if you got these guys doing 12, you know, different tracks in different studios, and this could be ignorance on my part, do you hear difference in tones? Like, do you have to blend them because of the way they're recorded, or is it like direct? Like, I'm used to the old way with the sound of the room and different things. Like,
I mean, every studio sounds a little different, but you got to realize too that, you know, like a Kenny Aronoff or a Rich Redmond, they're recording in $10 million studios. You know, so I'm getting back these unbelievably great sounding tracks. That my studios, I don't have like a little in the corner that we just stuck their home studio. When we built my house, I was telling Joe earlier, we built an addition onto the house strictly to be the studio.
Okay. All right.
From the slab up.
All right.
It was designed by an acoustic engineer. Everything is acoustically great. It's sponsored by Oralex. It's sponsored by Personas. Oralex tuned it.
Wow.
It just sounds amazing. So while it's not a $10 million studio, it still puts out a great sound. But it really helps when I'm getting these tracks in from these bigger studios that just sound amazing.
To mix it in with everything.
Now that too, we built my studio to be a drum room. I wanted live drums. And I built the studio saying, if we can make drums sound great in here, we can make everything else sound great in here. because it's hard. Drums are probably the hardest thing to really cut
Get it
live
good.
and make sound good.
Yeah.
So we really focused on making sure the room was tuned to be a great drum room, and then everything else will fall in. And so the studio itself sounds great. The mixing room is very true. What comes out of the speakers is what is exactly what you get.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My mastering guy is like, I really don't have to do much, a little sweetening, because it just comes out sounding really good.
Wow.
So, but again, getting tracks in from
all over
all these bigger studios really just it makes it great, because I'm getting such clean, beautiful tracks in that I can do anything I want to them. I don't have to fix anything.
Yeah.
You get a lot of those
Finished
guys that are
product,
like,
so to speak.
oh, we'll just fix it later. I'm like, that's the worst thing you ever want to say in the studio. So.
Well, it's in the mix. You get rid of it. Wow. Well, John, I guess to sum it up, or what I want to do is kids out there, you got to tell them it's real important to study, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you really
absolutely.
think they should and do and learn, and it helps you in every way, any way, shape, or.
I've always said you can do business for business or business for your ego. If you do business for your ego, you're going to have a very short career. If you do business for business, your ego will get served, because your business will grow and you'll be on stage a lot. I play 240 shows a year.
Wow.
That means 240 nights a year, my ego gets its job done. And then I step off stage and go back and do business. But if I didn't do the business, I wouldn't have the gig schedule I have. I go to Key West 6 months a year, every other month. And I get on stage in front of, I don't know, throughout the course of a year, I mean, I'm probably on stage in front of 500,000 people in Key West.
Wow.
Because there's nights, maybe, 300, between 300 and 400,000 people in the course of a year down there. That keeps the ego very happy.
Feeds you a lot. You kidding? Absolutely.
I've had some of my greatest shows of my entire career down there, and I've done some amazing things in my career. There have been some magical nights down there. I've gotten to tour around the world. I go out, in a few weeks I'm going out again for the military.
Okay.
And I've traveled the world playing for the military. There's some things you get to do that are just unbelievably humbling.
Yeah.
And very ego-serving, because you get that,
Feeling.
but none of that would happen if the business wasn't right.
Right.
Because that's what gets you to that
That's what's getting you to
yeah.
that level and stuff like that. Wow.
So I've always said it's incredibly important to be. You're a widget. I don't care if you're a guitar player, you're putting out a CD, you're a drummer. You are a widget. There's a million of you out there. If you can't learn to sell your widget,
what good is it? It's nothing.
yeah, it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
Your CD, whether you're a musician, whatever you are, you're running a business, you're running a music store, you're running a deli. If you can't set yourself apart, find your niche and find your fans and run your business right, you're going to have a short career.
You're going to have a problem. Yeah. Now, I want you to tell everybody, guys, you got to go check out John's stuff. He's got 12 CDs. So tell them where they can get it, John.
You can go to iTunes, you can go to Amazon.com, just put my name in and you'll find it pretty easy. If you are struggling, let me spell it for you, because nobody can spell
We
my
had a
name.
little trouble before with
It's
that one.
JohnTaglieri, JohnTaglieri.com, Facebook, John Taglieri Music, Twitter, John Taglieri, or just pop my name in iTunes or Amazon and you'll find pretty much everything.
And we're going to have the links too.
Below.
And you check the links
Yes.
and stuff that are.
I think they'll be right around here, right?
Maybe
Yeah.
a
A little lower? Right around there.
We'll get the links and
So,
they're done.
We'll get the links right there.
That's it. John, thanks a lot for stopping by. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks so much
and
for having me.
educating everybody and having a great time. And guys, check out the stuff. And thanks again for stopping in the Encore chat. And we'll talk to you soon. Really put an effort in to learn an instrument. It's so important. Thanks again for lending an ear. Thanks for stopping in to Encore Chat. I'm Pete Schmeeds, that owns a small little store called Schmeeds Music, 831 Route 10 East in the Pine Plaza Shopping Center in Whippany, New Jersey. Thanks, guys, and stay in touch to see more videos to come.